with another video, and it's another ghost hunting video because I went to the Anzio Army Camp in Lake, and I'm gonna tell you, it was such an amazing night. The activity we got was insane. I went with haunted houses. I highly recommend that company. They have been amazing the past 3 ghosts since I've been on. They have done the investigation, and I totally recommend them. The staff are lovely, and they have such great equipment you can use, and they always encourage everyone to get involved if you feel comfortable, and they make you feel welcomed. So I highly recommend them if you haven't checked them out and you're interested in ghost hunting. It is on the pricey side, but it's worth it for what you're doing. Anyway, first I'm going to do a story time of talking about what happened, and then I'm going to be showing some clips of which I recorded because I got a night vision camera, so I got some pretty good evidence on camera, but I also got some activity that happened off camera, and I also found that one time I turned my camera off and more evidence happened, so maybe they didn't want to be filmed. Anyway, I'm going to start from the start, so I'm going to just tell a brief history and what we did. So, the army camp was built in 1943 for the Second World War. It held German prisoners, and it was also a training camp. And then in 1946, it was turned into a Polish camp. So, a lot of Polish soldiers stayed there. And then, since then, it's been kind of like training camps. And now it's like a place, just derelict buildings, and you can go airsoft shooting. So there are a lot of airsoft little balls just scattered all over the place. Now you'll see why that's relevant soon. So obviously it's haunted by lots of soldiers, German, Polish, English, lots of different natives. There's also a story about a big dog being seen on the property, because it's on the Blackshore Moors in Lake, so it's obviously the dog's been seen wandering around the moors and around the camp. There's also a story about a pool called Mermaid Pool, where for the witch hunt, this person was drowned through the trial of ordeal to test if she was a witch, and obviously if you're innocent, you're normally dead. And if you're not, then you survive, but then you're killed another way. So this woman that was tested in the trial of ordeal did drown. So then she is known to be kind of like a siren, so they call it a mermaid pool, because her ghost started haunting the place and making people walk into the lake and drown themselves. I didn't see any of that, but I just read up a brief history of the place. But the camp is built with loads and loads of buildings, and a massive complex. So we went in several buildings, different activity in all of them, different energies in every building. It was incredible. So we went in this first building. It was kind of like a bunkhouse where they slept. Downstairs, the feeling was kind of just normal. I didn't feel anything. But as soon as you started going up the stairs, you felt so uneasy and anxious. And they told me, oh, you can go up the stairs and then maybe go first. And I just felt so uneasy and anxious. I was no, I can't do it. So we went up as a group. We just did a tour first of the place, going in different rooms and with the K2 and seeing if we got any energy. Nothing really, but it was interesting to explore because it's such a derelict place, but there's so many things that tiles that are just completely fine. It's incredible. So after we did the tour, we didn't really see anything. We did a vigil in one of the downstairs rooms, and the evidence we got from the REM pod was going off, and there's an EMF gauge, and it makes a noise when it goes up to red, and it was going mental. We got that he was an English soldier, and but he could speak German because he was going mental about the words, like certain words in German, what someone was saying. And then they're like, we asked, are you German? And they didn't respond. Then we asked, are you English but can speak German? And then like the REM pod went off. I do have videos of that. I videoed that whole experience. That was crazy. Yeah. Someone was also like, there's a person standing in the corner of the room, because there was a couple like empaths in the room, and I feel like I'm more empathetic than I think I am, because I'm starting to like feel like I can feel if there's someone like in the room or outside the room. And then I said it, and then someone else was like, yeah, there is. So I guess I'm more empathetic than I am, and I guess I kind of want to explore that in future ghost hunts as well, because I feel like that'll be interesting and to tap into that side. But yeah, we were getting like crazy activity from the REM pod, and we were like, can you put different lights on, can you do this, and it was doing it all. It was so like whatever, we think it was a male, but he was so responsive, and they seemed to be happy that we were there. Now, we went upstairs into a different room, and we did the table tipping in there. So I was recording for a bit of it, and the table was moving slightly, but it wasn't moving massively until my camera, like my battery died. I had spare batteries, so I replaced it after we'd done that vigil. So, but after my battery died, after that I didn't film, the table was like wobbling so much, and we're like, come on, encouraging it to like move the table more, creating loads of energy, because I feel like it's really important. You need to create the energy, and if people aren't involved in it, then it's not really gonna work. But yeah, so the table was moving quite a lot, like wobbling and vibrating. It was crazy. Sorry. Yeah. We kind of got in that room that there was about, I think we said, let me see, 5 spirits, maybe 6, but okay, so as well as the table tipping, we had the EMF like gauge working as well, and from that and the table tipping, we got that there was about 5 spirits in this room, but they seemed quite timid and shy, didn't want to really communicate. They had little energy, but we also felt that there was someone in the corridor, in the doorway, didn't want to come in, just wanted to observe. And that was that was what I was talking about with like empathetic. I felt that there was someone in the corridor, and someone else said it as well, like agreed to me. It's like, yeah, there is, but they didn't want to come in. Yeah, so there was someone in the corridor that didn't really want to come in, was just observing. We tried to encourage them to come in the room, but someone like that was more empathetic was saying like they don't really want to come in, they're very shy, they're just happy observing outside the room. And we're like, well, should we leave? Because they are active, but after the first room downstairs, we went into room upstairs where we did table tipping, and we also had the EMF gauge still going. I recorded a bit of that, but then my camera battery died, and after my battery died and we stopped recording, we got way more evidence. So I did feel that the spirits in this room were more shy and timid. They didn't really interact that much, but they did, but not with that much energy. There, we got on the EMF gauge that there was about like 5 spirits, maybe 6, because it's like a quiet noise for 6, but then a more loud noise for 5. So 5, maybe 6, maybe someone went away or something. So on the table tipping, when I was filming, the table was like slightly moving, ever so slightly wobbling and vibrating. And then my camera battery died, so I did replace it after that room. And the table started wobbling so much, like it was wobbling loads and vibrating. It was crazy. Like, I think that's the most I've ever gotten, like, table tipping. So that was crazy. It was a great, like, new experience for me, and I'm glad it worked, because the past several times I've done table tipping, it hasn't really worked as much. But we were trying to, like, get more energy, get it to move the table more, move it across the room, move it a bit, or lift it up or flip it over, but it was just wobbling and vibrating. Then what I was talking about was, like, me being, like, kind of empathetic and sensitive. I said that I feel like there's someone in the corridor, like, just standing there, and, like, someone else is like, yeah, there is. He's kind of observing. He doesn't want to come in. He's quite happy out there. We tried to encourage him in, but he didn't want to. He was just happy observing in the corridor. So yeah, we kind of found in that room they were very shy and didn't really want to talk, but they did give us a few little answers, which was interesting. Then after that place, what else happened? I'm trying to think what else happened. I don't think anything else happened after that. So we then had a break, and then we went to another building. We just had a walk around first. We went in this, like, kitchen place. The kitchen place, I filmed, like, walking around and stuff. But we kind of got the impression that there wasn't anything they wanted to communicate, because it was like a kitchen and a canteen. At the canteen, somebody said, it's very, like, busy energy in here. Like, there's people the spirits just doing their own things, eating and talking amongst each other. And, like, it feels very crowded in here, but they didn't really want to interact. And then there was a toilet off at the canteen, and she was like, I don't feel a positive energy from that. Like, I feel like something sad might have happened in the toilets, and we weren't very welcome in there. And you kind of felt that when you went closer to the toilet, it felt, like, kind of anxious and stuff. And we didn't actually go in that place because we just felt that, like, uneasy feeling that we weren't welcome. So we went somewhere else because we weren't getting any evidence. But the evidence I did get, we were just talking amongst ourselves and looking around, and something went past my camera. It was like a white, like, kind of light, but it was like a weird shape. It could have been an apparition. I literally, like, oh my god, something just went past my camera. Like, it was crazy. So you can see that on the footage at the end of the video. That was crazy. I didn't see it with my own eyes. I saw it through my camera screen, which was crazy. Yeah, I also felt like there was, like, a little room off. I just felt like there was something in that room just watching us, but didn't really want to come in and interact. So we went out of there. Then we went into, where else did we go? We went into another building. It was a bunker. As soon as I got in there, my chest went really tight. Like, okay, my chest goes tight quite a lot, but it was weird how it was fine, and as soon as I stepped into the building, it went tight. Like, I was like, that's crazy. And then someone else said they feel, like, kind of anxious. Like, the tour guide said she felt kind of anxious and, like, nervous in that room. But she was saying, like, in this room you can experience a lot of, like, shadow figures and stuff. So, but she said, like, she felt like there was, like, shadows at the end of the corridor and stuff, but there wasn't really any communication. We tried to get it to communicate, but we didn't feel like they wanted to communicate because it was a bunker. It was probably, like, a secretive room, and they didn't really want to talk, and they kept all the secrets. That's what I kind of felt like. So we just explored the building, and it was quite interesting. like discovering what room to walk, because obviously there's no like furniture in there. It's very derelict, but there's still like, you can see where plumbing's been, where light fixtures have been. So it's like trying to guess what room is what. Okay, now this is where we got a lot of evidence. We went into the medical room. Now before we went in there, the group before, like there was a group coming out when we went into there, and the group before us was like, don't go in there. We just got like, they did like a spirit box session, and the person, like whatever spirit was talking was just swearing at them. It was saying F off, see you next Tuesday. Like it was kind of like just swearing like every word on the Sunday's head. It was like they didn't feel like they were welcome in there, but they got a lot of evidence. So we went in with a very open mind. We went in. First of all, I noticed that the graffiti was like red bloody hands and death. Now, with watching Sam and Colby, I've learned that graffiti can tell you a lot about the energy and the spiritual energy in the room. If graffiti is more like positive and like drawings and stuff, there's a more positive energy in there. And if it's like death and like Satan and stuff, then there's more negative energy there. And everywhere else the graffiti was more positive, and in here slightly sinister. Not much, but it was a couple. So that was interesting, but probably that was because there might have been a lot of suffering there, because it was a medical center, so people were hurt, they were in pain. So we went in talking about pain. We went into this one room. It must have been like where the beds were, and maybe an operating room as well, because it was like things hang, like big light, like things where big lights would have been hanging, and like electrical supplies in the walls. So we went in there, and some people did the Ouija board, but they didn't really communicate for the Ouija board. They communicated for the REM pod. The REM pod was going crazy, but we got that there was someone talking. They were in pain. They weren't very happy. They kind of wanted comfort. And it was like, you had this, like, you had this really sad feeling in there. And, like, a lot went on, and we felt really bad. And then we were like, are we intruding? Should we go to another room? And the REM pod went out. So, but I didn't record that because I don't really feel comfortable recording the Ouija board, because they're using the Ouija board and I don't really want to use that. We also heard lots and lots of footsteps in the corridor outside of the room, banging. Like, it was very active. We then went into like this other massive room near the, like, where we came in, and oh my god. We got the table tipping out. Didn't really work, but annoyingly my SD camera ran out. But it was so weird. As soon as my SD camera ran out, so I had to stop recording. I did have another one, but I didn't really want to place it because I couldn't be bothered to get it out, and it was very muddy, so I couldn't put my back down. But anyway, after I stopped recording, oh my god, we heard a massive bang coming from like the back of the room. We heard humming. Someone was humming. Oh, that reminds me, we also heard whistling in the first building as well. And then, you know, I talked about the airsoft, like, little pellet balls. They kept getting thrown. Like, there was one by one door opposite us, then there was one behind us, and then one on the side of us. And, like, they were pinging. It was crazy. Like, it was, like, 3 or 4 times, like, a ball was, like, thrown across the room. Like, oh my god, it was crazy. We tried to use the spirit box. We didn't get anything through. I need to turn my iPad off silent. It's my iPad. Then we went into a different building after that, and the evidence I got, oh my god. I will post a screenshot of the Spirit Talker app that I used. Now, I was quite skeptical of the Spirit Talker app, but then I watched, I think it was Exploring with Josh video. I think they did a summer copy, I'm not entirely sure. But they use this app, and I will link it down below because it's a really good app. It's only like £2 something, £3. It's really cheap, and it's an excellent app. And it was quite accurate. Like, somebody asked, what's your name? And they were talking in the spirit box, but it came through on the Spirit Talk at Raymond. So I kind of got the name was Raymond, and then the cat ball in the corner of the room, when I put down, started going off. So I was like, are you in the corner of the room? Could you set it off again? And the cat ball went off. But this spirit was also saying stuff like more, and we were on a moor. We were on Blackshore Moor, so that was relevant to the place. Also said that I'm Ivy, and then I started asking questions like, is your name, is there someone called Ivy in this room? Nothing. I was trying to ask if it's like someone I know, but no response. So I don't know what the Ivy, I mean, maybe it was plant ivy, I don't know. But it was kind of just saying like, and then I asked how many of their like they're in this room, in this building. I'm being paranoid. How many of you in this room and building, and it didn't answer for ages, and then I kind of went out the room, and then it said 20. So I kind of was like, is there 20 of you are? I keep hearing noises, and then I feel like that was outside, that was a bird. I'm freaking myself out. Anyway, so that was the door. Okay, now I need to stop. Okay, I'm talking, yeah. So I went out the room, and the number 20 came through. So I was trying to like get it to like insert the cat ball again on the K2 machine. Nothing really did. Like I was seeing if there's like 20 of you in here, or is that your age? No response. But I did get that number through. So I feel like maybe there was 20 spirits in there. So I feel like it was very like, there was quite a few people in there. Quite a few spirits in there. Just in the building. What else did I get? Oh yeah, it was kind of like the energy in this room was this building was kind of like nice, safe, positive energy. And in the Spirit Talker, it was like, you can trust us, you're safe here. And I was like, and then it was like, we're here. And I'm like, if you're here, can you show us a sign? And in the room next to us, there was like those little pallet balls being thrown and pinged all over the place. Oh, and that reminds me, the cat ball went off the first time, and I was like, oh my god, the cat ball's going off. And the cat ball turned off, and then something was thrown out of the room towards one of the guides. Like one of them balls or a pebble. That was like crazy. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And in the next room, there was like loads of little like pellet balls just being thrown and pinged around. That was like the most active place. That was the armory. Was the most active place of the whole, like, I think. And that was kind of my favorite place. And then we were like saying we gotta leave now, and they were like, visitor, and I'm like, yes, we are a visitor, we just come to communicate with you. And then we left it at that, and I feel like that was a really good like end to the investigation, and I'm so happy with like everything I got. And like, I don't know, I feel like that was such an active place, and I can't wait to review my footage and see if there's any more evidence I missed, or noises that could be picked up on the mic and not my ears. Like, I'm mind blown, and I can't wait to do another investigation. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the story time and enjoy watching the clips.
Oh my god. And I was like, yeah, I don't think oh my god. And I was like, yeah, I don't think
I slowed this clip down for you, but if you have a look across the screen, another mist goes across. I can debunk that and say maybe it was a light, because the light was shining in the camera earlier. But then I walk further up the stairs, and it looks like an orb flies across the screen. Again, it could be dust or a light, I'm not sure. But straight after that, I went to feel like really uneasy and anxious and went down the stairs because I didn't like the feeling.
I think it's quite shy. Yeah, possibility. Yeah. Because obviously you've got to remember that some soldiers were egos and loud and very sure of themselves, but some of them were shy and they didn't, they were nervous. Yeah. But we're not here to hurt you or anything. Yeah, probably. All laughing at me, saying I could do that better. Exactly. Right. That's proper going, that is. Take breeze with us. Young and these days. You're doing really well. Do you like the women that's here, Spirit? Sounds like it's laughing at me. Do you like this one here? That this what you say? Yvonne. Do you like what Yvonne's holding in her hand? Do you like this piece of equipment? You can stand in that doorway. You'd like. Oh. That's good how that went off at the same time. Thank you. Oh, isn't that weird? Oh. That'd go off, then that'd go off, then that'd go off. Keep doing that.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Keep going.
Thank you, Spirit. Thanks for showing us that you're here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm not very good with jokes. No, nor me. Lee has really bad jokes because of the dad jokes. Oh,
Thank you, Spirit.
like a good bad joke, dad joke. Come closer to that machine that's on the floor, please. It won't hurt you, just keep going closer and closer to it, or maybe just push your energy that way. You can set more lights off. It goes up to 4 lights. Can you throw something out in the corridor? Maybe a pebble or little white balls that are on the floor. You can throw them in the corridor. But I don't want them being thrown again in me. Because last time I don't know if it was in this one or another building before, the little white pallets were all like stood in a circle like here, and no one of you could tell because you can see each other. These few little white balls were thrown at your feet, actually here, hitting your boots.
Well, thank you, Spirit.
Thank you.
That better not be you, buddy. You couldn't come back for more, you just got punishment, innit? You got it up to blue, can you take it up to the fourth one, which is the purple, please? Yeah, we love purple.
Yeah, can you show us the purple light?
No. I hear that as a no. No. Don't be so greedy, please. You're doing ever so well. Sorry, I keep referring to you as he, sorry. Do apologise. Got to be careful these days, might be gender neutral. Might be. Ghosts have rights too, and spirits. They do. Got to be respectful. See? Actually feel like I'm having a conversation with you. I know. Oh no, it's going to shut up. It's proper going up to like the red. Wow. I like that one.
So were you a Liverpudlian, a Scouser? Is that why the lights went off?
Hey! Cracked
You've
it.
got a thing for you're a Scouser.
In this building, Spirit, is there more than 4 of you?
Yes.
Was that a yes? Yes.
Yes.
Is there more than 6 of you? Say that's a yes?
So might have been a maybe because there's 6 here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Maybe.
Is there 6 of you in here in this room? Can you make that flash again or make a noise if there's more than 6 of you here in this room? Is there less? Is there 5? That's going into yeah. So I'd say
Yeah.
5 then.
Maybe.
Yeah,
One of them might
5.
have gone home or injured or something.
So there's 5 spirits in this room. If there's 5 of you, you can use your energy, collect it together, and you could do all sorts for us. Because there's a lot of people in here that can't see you. Thank you. There's a couple of us that can feel you, but can't see you. This is why we've got equipment. It's just so we know that you're there, that's all. I think you're doing an amazing job so far.
I know there's one of you over in the corner. I'm just going to close my eyes.
You're brave.
Okay, spirits. If you was in the US Army, can you make the light up, please? If you was in the Polish Army, can you make the light up, please? Was you in the TA?
I know we came in contact with a, I don't know if it was a Polish or a German soldier before.
German soldier?
I think there was, I think we come in contact with you. He was either Polish or German, one or two, I can't remember. And luckily we had someone that knew.
Was a K2.
Was that K2 going off then?
Yeah, it flashed and then the
So you just
ramp
started
up.
talking about
Yeah.
German.
About the German soldier.
Okay, if you was German, can you make the lights turn a different colour, please? There's 2 ladies holding green lights. Can you go towards them?
Are you German? Guten Tag.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Does that mean yes? Ja?
Ich liebe dich. I do not.
That sounded so wrong when you said that then.
Yeah, I know. It means I love you. Just FYI, I'm trying to spread the love. Ich bin Ausländer.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
It's like he's laughing in
Yeah.
Yeah.
My accent is shit.
I bet he's thinking that shit accent.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. That's quite funny, actually. Apologies for ruining your language.
If you think that's a 9, right, okay.
It's still lipping. Oh my god.
Okay, spirits, if you're here, take that as a yes.
Thank you, Spirit.
Can can you come forward, please? Can you try and move this table for us? Can you use our engine and move the table?
So this is like a canteen kitchen area. Oh, I found another little man with a top hat. The man with the top hat. I don't know, I keep seeing it. It's just somebody done it. Yeah. Out here. But I was saying like, when Simon Colby said like that graffiti, if it's like a happy and more cheery, it's like a good place. But if it's like more like satanic and stuff, it's an evil place. So it's a good place, isn't it, really? Watch out. Oh, it's creepy how it says watch out, like something comes through that door.
So I'm going to take a picture of that.
Yeah.
With Tim in the background shining his torch. It's going to be famous, Tim.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I was expecting.
I was
Do you
saying
see
like,
what I mean?
because the watch out, it looks like there's something like seeing something in the door.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like. And then Tim was there.
Where's Tim?
He's gone through that door somewhere.
Can you bang on something really loud so we can hear you? What did you hear?
What did I say?
Ooh, you gone very dark. Can't see you.
Me?
Yeah. Couldn't see you then.
What did I say then? I think there's something in there. Someone, sorry.
Spirit, if you're in that room, can you make a noise for us, please?
Got my eyes closed right now.
Can you throw something in that room? Can you bang on something? Just let us know where you are, please. Come on, come forward.
There's something in there. Shuffling.
Shuffling.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Can you make that louder, please? Come on, make a bang for us. We want to hear you. Make us jump. Is
Yeah.
I just saw something like white go across my camera.
You question yourself after a point and you just like, oh, I won't take my pictures.
What is
Oh, sis, artwork.
Yeah.
With the little smileys. Another high.
My chest feels really tight in here.
I have, but I just feel really creeped out for some reason.
Well, my chest feels like really tight as soon as I stepped in the building.
What was this building?
Not sure.
This is the bunker.
So we're in the medical place now.
Sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, hello.
Spirits.
Thank you.
Okay, spirits. Oh, actually,
That was quick. Oh my gosh.
No, I think someone's down there.
That's me, sorry. Let me come there. Sorry. I think.
Renpol's gone off already.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just went off.
Yes, please. Yeah, it's my turn now. Go and speak to the spirits, sis. They say the C word. Don't tell me.
Okay, spirits, if that's you, can you do it again, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa! Okay, spirits, are you happy that we've had the Ouija board out? You want to communicate with us?
Did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it came from out there. It's like, girls. Just said no. There might be better through there. There might be better.
don't think that's good.
Did you just make a sound like a hum?
Yes, I think hum would be bad. Let's just go on, Susan.
It was going up before.
Huh? I know.
Okay, Spurs.
Yesterday.
Oh, thank you, Spirit.
Thank you.
Okay, Spurs. If there's anyone here, please come towards the Ouija board. Move the planchette. If there is any spirits here, can you move it to yes, please?
I just hear thudding then. Two thuds like.